What's good, guys? British YouTuber SAMMIT here. Terrible British accents aside, if you've been seeing any of the news articles written about the Trust Kikaku video, which have been really awesome, by the way, I'm loving the free promotion, I guess, but a lot of them got it wrong and said I was a British YouTuber living in Japan. Anyways, all of that aside, we are back. The Typhoon is obviously gone. We were very, very fortunate where me and May live that we didn't have any issues whatsoever with flooding or terrible wind and stuff like that, even though literally like 5 minutes down the road, a whole bunch of people lost their homes and a bunch of damage and things like that. So we were very, very fortunate, and I'm so thankful for that. But all of that aside, we are obviously at Yashio Factory. Everything here was also very safe during the typhoon, no problems there. And you can see the S15 is safe right there. It stayed inside the whole entire time. Anyways, all of that aside, we have a massive day happening today. Lots needs to get done, so let me explain. It's the 15th today, and tomorrow is the shakedown, Okajuku half day at Scuba Gymkhana. And while my car is ready for the shakedown, this white one was supposed to be. And we've got a little bit of an issue. No transmission. While we have the brand new transmission here, the adapter plate has not arrived for us to adapt that to the SR. And we need this thing running for tomorrow. So Oka-chan has said, we're removing I think it's a CD09 from his 600 horsepower comp car, taking it out of that, we're putting it in this today, which makes things a little bit complicated. So what we've done is we've moved my car out, because Awa-san's now dropping this one. We're gonna just get this thing started on a stock ECU just so we can move it for now. And then that's gonna be out of the way. We're gonna then get Oka-chan's comp car out, which means we gotta move that out of the way and undo everything we did when we cleaned everything out to get that car out, to then put that car on the hoist, to then drop the transmission, to then put it into this one. It's a hassle, but it's what we're gonna do to get this thing running today. Now, I was planning to do my dash, but when Oka-chan told me about how the parts didn't arrive, I said, how about I come super early, which is why I'm here. And it's like, I actually woke up at 5:30 this morning to get here on time. But why I'm here super early, so that we can smash this out and try to get this transmission in here and this car running. And then Oka-chan has to tune it today, because it's a V Pro, it's not like one of his normal ones, so he's gonna probably like cuss a lot when he gets it all set up. And then it's gonna be ready for the shakedown tomorrow, loaded on the tow truck with my car, ready to roll. So big day. I hope you're excited. Let's get to it. So we've moved out this car. We're gonna be moving that one out once we get the blue one out. And right now, because this engine was completely rebuilt, we're building oil pressure with the good old unplug the CAS and just keep cranking with the booster on, so that way, obviously we get oil pressure. The oil pressure light will disappear off the dash once oil flows through the engine. And once that's done, we plug it on and start her up. Plug this bad boy back in and let's see if she'll come to life. Here we go. Whoa, gotta wait for that oil to get into the lifters too. There she goes. All nice and quiet now that that oil's in the head. Beautiful. Started first go. It's probably gonna be a healthy motor. All right, so we let the car idle for a little bit, checked under there for leaks, we're all good there. And then Fukuzawa-san went through and did like a little bit of a revving pattern while it was kind of coming up to temperature. We didn't let it get all the way up to temperature, because he did it for about like 3 minutes, just kind of like woo, woo, with like not even like 1,000 RPM, maybe like 1,500 RPM max. And I was asking him why they do that, and it's so that you're giving enough time and kind of like moving those hydraulic lifters around so they're getting full of oil. And then once he did that for about 3 minutes, we shut the engine off, and then we checked the oil level, and sure enough, the oil level had gone down, which is a good sign, because it means that it's filling up, you know, those hydraulic lifters and stuff like that, which is exactly what you need. And then, yeah, topped it back up. By the way, guys, the oil that Oka-chan uses in every single SR that he looks after, fully synthetic, 15W50. in winter, in summer, it doesn't matter, all seasons, that's what he puts in his SRs. So little tip for you guys running SRs, 15W50 is the oil you want, fully synthetic. Notice how much quieter she's running now without the lifter tap. Pretty sick. So that thing's out. Now we gotta have a crack at starting this thing, I think, and we gotta move this thing. The fenders are off right now because they're getting remade so that this body kit can be used on another car in competition, which you guys will find out sooner rather than later, I think. Make sure this thing's in neutral. And it should be all good, I think. We'll find out. The thing started first turn, not a single issue. And of course, I'm not gonna drive that, no way in hell. We'll let Oko-chan do it, even though he's just gotta maneuver it around. But man, it's such a nice car. One day I'll get to drive it, I'm sure. Not now. Just listen to this thing. So aggressive. And now we gotta back it up onto that. Oh yeah. Pump it. That angle is nuts. So we went and had lunch, and in that time, look at this lineup though. Oh yeah. And there's still another pink S15 inside that we're obviously working on, but personally, I think this one looks the best out of all of them. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so a quick update. You would have seen the time lapse. We got the transmission out, and this thing is the big Bertha of transmissions. This is a Z33, so a CD09, or the newer version from the Z34s. And as you would have seen now, this was done way before anyone had made any of these kits to make these a short shifter, and Oko-chan kind of whipped this up himself and just welded it all up to make it shorter. You can see here, did the same there with that, just so he could get it a bit shorter. And that's how he made it fit in the Sylvia. So now we're probably, I'm gonna hit up GK Tech and get one of their kits, because that'll bring it even more further forward for him, which is exactly what he needs. But what I wanted to show you is the kit that they use for this. Like, they literally have to take a chunk out of the bell housing here for the exhaust and stuff. It's pretty interesting. I've never seen a Z33 conversion kit where they use an adapter plate like this. I've seen the ones where it like kind of cuts off the bell housing and does some other weird stuff and whatnot, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting. So adapter plate, just like what you would use for the RB30, and of course that introduces a bit of extra space there, which again, that space here from this adapter plate is going to push your shifter even further back. So you can see the factory location was here, and Oko-chan had it here, so it's about, I don't know, good few, maybe like good 10 centimeters or so. So every bit of room counts. And obviously this is a must. You gotta bash the crap out of your firewall to get it to fit. So in this one, he's running an ORC Orca clutch. So this bad boy, we're gonna have to take this whole thing off as well. I think this is a twin or triple plate. Twin. Well, yeah, it's a twin. It's a twin. So yeah, this is gonna come off with the flywheel and the adapter plate to put onto this car, because we can't use the Nismo one on this one, because obviously that was all set up for the 25. And completely different with the Z33 transmission. Afterwards, I don't know if we're gonna end up putting this transmission back into there, or we're just gonna keep it in there and put the 25 one in there. Personally, I know Oko-chan hates these, because every reason why everyone hates the CD09s is the H pattern gate is so small. It increases your misshift chances in drifting and time attack by 1,000. It's a very known issue with them. They've just got a really small gate to work with. So yeah, Oko-chan's definitely going to prefer this to not be in his personal race car, so I think he kind of is happy that the built 25 box is going to end up in there in the long term anyways. I'll give you guys updates as we go along. I've got a bit of work to do and get those new shirts listed. My Fukusawa-san starts messing around with clutches, and I'll probably help him when it comes to putting that back in, and we'll go from there. Fukusawa-san got the adapter and the clutch off, and I'm going to be working on the transmission. I noticed that this had not been ground off yet, and if any one of you guys have put a Z33 or a CD09 in your S chassis with the adapter plate and everything, this is a must to grind down. Otherwise, it is an absolute bitch to get that to fit in there without it bashing on the firewall. We're obviously clearancing the firewall as much as we can with a hammer, but getting that little fin off helps so much. Like, we've already bashed all of this up, but if you want to get it to clearance really well, that fin is a must to grind down. So we've got the grinders out. We're going to shave this all the way down to about here, and that'll give us that little bit more clearance in there to get it up in there not a lot easier. All right, so I finished doing my modifications to the bell housing of the CD09, and now Fukusawa-san's doing some modifications himself to the adapter plate to make sure it clears the exhaust, because the adapter plate, if I show you, as you can see, the exhaust is really close here to the side of the engine, right? And the adapter plate kind of comes into that. So while there was already a cut made in the adapter plate to clearance that one, it needs a little bit more clearancing just for this one, because this one's a bit closer. And then we'll be ready. Hopefully this cut that was already made in the bell housing, which is pretty gnarly, we might clean that up, make it a bit prettier. I think Oko-chan was also thinking about welding in a piece here. But yeah, regardless, hopefully that cut is good enough to clear the exhaust in this, and we can get that transmission in. Well, I never thought I'd be driving one of these bad boys anytime soon. Don't worry, lads, this isn't mine. And the only reason I would get one of these is for smashing into doors at Ebisu. But this is that blue one. We got it running, we got it working. I'm just relocating it right now for everyone, so it's out of everyone's way. We got to shuffle cars so that we can load everything up for tomorrow. We've also run into some more issues with getting that transmission in. I really hope we can still make it tomorrow for that car, but if not, I mean, it is what it is, right? So we were about to put the transmission in, and then I noticed that we hadn't changed over the slave cylinder yet, and we were like, oh, it's fine, we'll just switch it out because we only have to undo the line at the bottom block. And then I realized that this had a braided line going all the way to the factory Nissan slave cylinder. And I was like, hang on a second, and I knew that Oko-chan's has the metal line going down to the block down there, which then has the braided line which wraps around to go to the other side of the transmission, and they're not going to work. So we're going to have to take the entire hard line off at the the clutch master, and then transport it over there. So I've already sucked up all the clutch fluid out of the reservoir. I'm going to undo it now. I've already done the bottom, so that's just loose on the bracket, and we'll be able to take that whole piece out and transfer it into this car. But both of these cars have forward-facing plenums on them. This one's got the Yashio Factory on, that one's got a Hypertune one. So it's going to be very interesting getting in there and getting that out. But we've got to get it done. We're starting to lose light. It's getting dark, it's getting cold. And yeah, we want to make the shakedown tomorrow for both Oko-chan's cars and my car. So let's get to it. All right, so we had a bit of a win. We got the hard line fed up. Unfortunately, the way the guy previously... All right, so we had a win. I fed up the hard line while Fukusawa-san managed to start the thread over here, and he's just tightening it now. But it's very difficult to run a hard line through there because of where he ran the wiring harness. If you can see that all there, that's the entire engine harness comes out there. So we were trying to feed it in between the firewall and the wiring harness, but it just wasn't going to work with the hard line. So we just ended up running the hard line in front of the wiring harness for now, because I did talk to Oko-chan. We are going to just take this whole transmission back out once all the parts arrive for the 25 one. So this is going to go back into the S15, the pink S15. I know it seems like a lot, but like in Japan, it's part of the culture. It's like part of workmanship and stuff. Like if you're going to say you're going to make something, you try your absolute hardest. If that means taking parts out of your, you know, time attack crazy 600 horsepower race car to get this thing up and running, that's what you do. And that's what we're doing. Okay, so as you would have seen in the time lapse, we were really struggling to get this in, so we're trying a few tricks of the trade. We double checked that the clutch was definitely aligned, and it is, but we took the plates back out and kind of cleaned inside all the cogs for the spline and lubed them up a bit. Did the same to this. We ran a little file through the spline, through all the different cogs, just in the little channels, and then kind of lubed it up a bit, and hopefully that'll help us get that in there, and we can start bolting everything together, because we've spent way too much time trying to get this transmission lined up and in there. So hopefully the next thing you see in the time lapse is us getting this in there and bolting it in. We had a win, guys. So happy we got that in there in the end. Zosan's just tightening the 2 top ones that I couldn't get to because he's got the long extension tools and stuff. And then I guess we start piecing the rest of this together. It's getting close to 7 p.m, which is normal closing time, but I think we're obviously going to be working overtime today to get this done. Oka-chan said he's going to do the tuning tomorrow at the track because he can't do the street tuning on this because this isn't registered, so he was always planning to do the tuning tomorrow. So as long as we can get this on the ground and driving and going into gears and no problems there, we'll be good. Time for another update. I'm extremely exhausted. We got the exhaust back on. I got all the tail shafts sorted out and put all that back together. We're pretty much ready to bring this thing down, and we can start thinking about bleeding the clutch and making sure that that all works. In hindsight, we probably should have done that before we put the tail shaft and everything in, but we're just in a hurry to try and get this together. So let's hope that everything's all good there. It's getting a bit late, so I'm going to start thinking about bringing my Skyline up and putting all my tools and stuff into the S15, because I'm taking the S15 home. The second truck loader that we'd normally use is actually out of commission. Having a quick little instant ramen break, courtesy of Oka-chan. Gonna jump into this beef miso ramen, and then we're gonna finish off that white S15. We're so close, so close. So we got everything done. Oka-chan's been working on a base map for the V Pro. Get that, so that'll be idling in a second. But while they were doing that, I'm moving all my tools from the Skyline into back of the Silvia, and I have to say there's a fair bit more space in here than I anticipated, so I think we're going to be able to fit everything. It's actually very similar to what's in my Skyline. Who's calling me right now? Probably a waifu. Aha, it is. Oh. We got that bass tune on there. Let's hope she starts. Everyone's tired. It's getting late. Uh-oh. She's alive, and we just put her in first, and she's moving too. When she's in neutral, you should hear the twin plate on that. Oh boy. All right, so I'm hooking up currently, there's that twin plate. I am hooking up the wideband sensor that goes to the little, it's just a wideband gauge that sits on the dash, so Oka-chan knows what the air fuel ratios are. So I'm gonna hook that up, and then I'm gonna finish packing everything in my car. We'll go from there. So I'm leaving the boys to it. I've got to head off, otherwise I'm not gonna get any more than like 4 hours sleep tonight, and I only got 2 last night. So saying goodbye to Yashio Factory, but everything's good with the car. It'll be on the truck in the morning, and we'll see it next tomorrow when I'm drifting this thing. We're driving this bad boy home, but before I drive this thing home, I know I want to get to bed early tonight, but I do not want to fall asleep driving, especially in my new pink car. So, ooh, look at this van. Damn, that's slammed. And what is that on Volk TEs? That's cool as. As I was saying, I don't want to fall asleep driving home, so we're going to get an energy drink, but we're going to definitely check this thing out. That's so cool. The white on white, I love it. When you're a family man and you're all about that wheel fitment, I guess. Well, I mean, it's not like it's like slammed and like perfect, but that's some pretty epic fitment for a van. Yo, wait, what? He's got bride seats too. Oh, burrito. That's sick. They're leather ones too. Damn. Oh, wait. The rears are too. Okay, wow, that's epic. Anyways, enough looking at cool vans. Energy drink time. So I'm on the highway obviously and starting to head home. I am way too keen for dinner and starting to edit this video actually, because this video, it's been a while since I've been editing videos because of the typhoon and everything. I think I missed like 3 days total and it's been driving me insane. I love making videos. So yeah, cruising on the highway. I'm sure the next clip will be a couple pulls and me hitting gate and stuff like that. And then we'll pick it up once we get home. All right. Even though I've got the windows closed, we're gonna hear gate, so let's pop it. This thing pulls like a freight train. My gosh. Shower hair SAMMIT again. What's up? You can probably gather I'm at the end of editing my video and I realized I forgot to shoot the outro, but I feel so good editing this video. It feels so good to finally be back into making videos again. I know I'm talking like I've been on like a month break, but I've literally just had 3 days off from the typhoon and all that kind of crazy stuff. And it's actually motivating me so much because it made me realize just how much, how passionate I really am about making content every day. And I don't know, it was encouraging, super encouraging for me to kind of realize that. So I'm back, baby, and I'm not British, so please stop saying that. No, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed, it's like a 20-minute long banger, and it's like my video back after 3 days off. What's up? Okay, maybe I'm a little bit Red Bull high right now. Anyways, it's nearly 1 AM, and I'm definitely only getting 4 hours of sleep tonight. So, let's render this puppy out. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow we are drifting the S15. Please pray that nothing happens. Fingers crossed, lads. Tap wood, you know, all that jazz. And I'll see you tomorrow. Shredding some tires, hopefully. No rocker arms at all breaking. Please. Thank you. SR gods. Oh, wait. I've got him on my side, so we're good. Peace out, guys. Ciao, mata. Bye-bye.